I'm sort of in an enigma myself. I have two things that get me off track. Two things that one day I'll say one is my big problem, the other's the other. One is what I said today about this concern about money, and the other is this a concern about being alone. Mm-hmm. And that specifically has to do with I'd really like to have a loving partner in my life. There's always, there is no always, almost always some man somewhere in my life. Mm-hmm. It's never the man I want to be with forever or and committed to. Mm-hmm. So the money thing is kind of like, I worry about the money because I assume I'm going to be alone, and if I just met somebody who had as much money as I do, we'd be fine. I assume I'll be alone because I need somebody not to worry. I mean, they're so intertwined that it's like, what the heck is my problem? What
is it?
I suppose it's my fear of never finding a person I want to be with.
Okay. So here's some things you said. You said you wanted to have a loving partner. Mm-hmm. And you do. You weren't specific.
Oh, about the partner? Well, I did do all my writing and everything.
You said, I wanted to have a loving partner right now.
Yes, I did.
And you do, but you weren't specific. Tony, is that right?
Oh, okay. Well, I want a loving partner who loves me for other than what he thinks he can get out of me, and a person to try to abuse and to fix all his problems. I want a...
Okay, see, what happened is you got a loving partner, but you weren't specific.
Right.
Okay, right. And then you said you said always, which is never really true.
No, and I corrected that.
And you corrected it. But then the other thing is, it's interesting, some of you have gotten the exercise with me. Raise your hand if you did, if I asked you to design your ideal mate. Did you? Can you? Okay, I'm going to do it the opposite. Raise your hand if you never designed your ideal mate, so I know who didn't do it. Okay. So when you design your ideal mate, you have to be really specific. Really specific. So when I designed my ideal mate, I wanted tall, dark, and handsome. I didn't say Asian. Right. Dad's a bigot. Dad didn't come to our reception. Right. You can figure, the rest of the story now. So you got more of my story, and you can understand why. Like, my mom and I made it United Nations, and my dad's like, so that was one. The other thing, I wanted someone who made more money than me, and I wasn't specific. So when I met my husband, he was making more money than me, but it was only for 4 years because he lost his contract, and I became the supporter.
Right.
You get this?
I do.
We can put it out there. We want somebody who has more money so they can support us, but you know what? I had the opportunity that had a gentleman who was a multimillionaire who was very interested in me, and I remember my grandma said it's easier to marry rich than it is poor.
I always say that.
And I said, Grandma, I marry him, you sleep with him. I said no, because I didn't want to do that, because money is not going to buy you everything. It really doesn't, because you better love the person whether they have it or they don't. So we make decisions, we think that's what's going to make us okay. It's part of the expectations not meeting reality, and it's part of the not being specific also. But the truth is that all those fears, again, are just made up, and it's really for another reason, because it gives you also the ability to feel significant that there's a problem, to connect with yourself that things aren't the way you want it to be. When you really want love, you're settling for connection and relationships that you don't even want to be in.
I'm settling for connection, period.
Yes, I know. I agree. And then what it does is it gives you certainty whether you know it or not, because you know exactly what you got. So what is that right now, Marcie?
It's an addiction, which is why I can't bring myself to break up with him and have 3 times and always go back.
Yeah, and because you actually are looking for something to replace him with first.
Well, that's not going to happen because my funnel's full.
Yeah, so I want you to hold that with 2 hands.
I mean, I can't even sign up for Match. I'd feel guilty.
Okay, so 2 hands. Okay, I want you to take this. This is the ideal man. He is the man of your dreams. He's unbelievable. He is charming, brilliant, kind, loving, financially independent, wants to travel all around the world with you. He wants to travel all around the world with you, and he wants to take you everywhere and sweep you away. And he is your knight in shining armor, but your hands are full.
I know. Okay. So I got to make this break. I have to make this break, and I have to say, I am terrified of just being all by myself.
How are you by yourself? Do you have any friends?
Well, actually, I don't have that many friends in New Jersey who like go to a movie with me or this or that. I have lots of friends for lunch.
Can you
lots of
look
friends
at
are
to your
married.
left, to your right? Can you make new friends?
Yes.
Okay.
I have many, many acquaintances that I
Okay.
suppose I could turn into friends.
You can turn into friends. And is he with you every single night?
No, I've restricted him to once a week.
Okay, so you're only, so theoretically you're only alone once, you only have him once a week, so you're not getting rid of someone you're with all the time, so you're alone 6 days a week.
But I'm not mentally alone.
Yes, you are, because he's not
I don't
available
know.
for
He's
you.
gonna take me to the airport. He's going to feed my cat. Oh, I sound horrible. Oh,
Okay,
my God.
so you know you can pay someone minimum wage to do that.
I know.
Get a chauffeur.
Her name is Charlotte. She's the cutest girl I know, and she looks just like you. She looks just like you. She just happens to be Caucasian. Looks just like you. Adorable. She'd love to feed my cat on the way to work. Sometimes she does. When we have a fight and he won't do it. I really sound selfish and awful.
So this guy sounds wonderful.
I'm really hearing myself
So you need someone to feed your cat, drive you to the airport, and come over once a week. Uber. We got Uber, and we got a cat, somebody who'll do a Lyft, and we got somebody who'll take care of the cat. What else do we need him for?
Nothing, because the last 2 weeks I told him he couldn't stay over and he had to go home too.
Oh, so we're already really getting...
Basically nothing out of this. And I'm being very selfish.
Yeah, but what you're getting out of it is you get to connect to feeling bad, being significant. You have a problem. For God forbid, Marcie is just happy.
I'm usually pretty not happy when he isn't there. Why is that?
I don't
I
know.
think I know why that is.
Why?
Because there's always been, but he's not it, I thought he was. There's always been, almost always, very consistent in my life, someone, starting with my father, who was just sort of, you know that song, Wind Beneath My Wings, who
Yeah.
believed in me and thought that I was wonderful and could do everything. And
Okay.
I don't know how I'll feel without that support.
Okay, what about if you gave it to yourself? And your dad can still give it to you even though he's not here.
That's true. Well, that's the strength that I need to get. I think that's the weakest area. That's absolutely the weakest area. If you asked anyone I knew, they'd say, oh, she can fix everything, she can sustain everything, but inside I'm just...
Okay. You are, or you're going to stop being that way?
I'm going to stop. Or
When?
I'll stop.
When?
After he takes me to the airport.
Call Uber. Okay, pass that to Renee for a second. Let's give a 1, 2, 3 for Marcie. 1, 2, 3, you're fab. I'm not done with you yet, no.
Well, this relates to that.
Yeah.
So is she or any of us, I thought we're supposed to go to a relationship not to get things, but to give things.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, so if she's always waiting to get something from the other person, is she ever really going to be happy?
Well, the answer is no. We should be going into, so, and she didn't get that training yet. You've gotten a head start on it, but thank you. So here's what
But
Renee.
I do want to say it started with me being the giver. And that's why it stayed.
So, in any relationship, the goal is for you to be independent and whole without another person. Mm-hmm. And then when you get into that relationship, they're whole and independent without you. The challenge is most people get into a relationship and they end up getting so intertwined because they're dependent on each other that when one person leaves, the other one is missing a piece of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Challenge with that is you're actually coming into somebody you're taking and needing. The healthy relationships that sustain are the ones that come together and share and grow and do that together. But they don't need each other, they want each other. See the difference?
I definitely do.
And here's what happens is that if you're looking for the guy who has the money, you'll find him, but if he loses the money, you still got the guy. You better like the guy. Yes?
Absolutely.
You know,
I mean,
you-
I had that.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't marry it.
And the thing is, you can have it again. And you have to believe you can have it again. You've lied to yourself about other things. Let's lie about this one. You can have what you want.
So how do you get to believe that?
We're going to be working on it all weekend. Promise you. All weekend. Okay? Okay.